Introduction. Welcome to Part 2 of the Money Decisions That Change Everything. In Part 1, you discovered the first 10 life-changing financial decisions, from choosing the right career and developing high-income skills to investing early, living below your means, and buying assets before luxuries. Now it's time to go even deeper. In the next 15 chapters, you'll learn the habits, mindset, and strategies that help ordinary people build extraordinary wealth. You'll discover how to keep learning, create multiple income streams, avoid costly financial mistakes, negotiate with confidence, protect your wealth, and make decisions that lead to lasting financial freedom. Remember, wealth isn't built by one big decision. It's built by making the right decisions consistently over time. So, let's continue your journey. Chapter 11. Never Stop Learning. Why lifelong learners continue increasing their income. The day you stop learning is the day you stop growing. And when your growth stops, your income often stops growing too. Imagine two people graduating from college on the same day. Both earn the same degree. Both start similar jobs. Both have equal opportunities. 20 years later, one has become a highly respected leader, earns several times more than they did at the beginning, and has built financial freedom. The other is still doing similar work, earning only modest raises, and wondering why success seems to come so easily to others. What made the difference? It wasn't intelligence. It wasn't luck. It was learning. One person believed education ended with graduation. The other believed graduation was only the beginning. That single mindset changed everything. Your education should never end. Many people think learning is something you do in school. Once they receive a diploma or degree, they stop reading, stop studying, and stop developing new skills. But the world's most successful people see education differently. They understand that the fastest growing investment they can make is in their own knowledge. Technology changes. Industries evolve. New opportunities appear every year. The people who continue learning stay valuable because they continue adapting. Those who stop learning often find themselves left behind. In today's world, learning is no longer optional. It's essential. Knowledge increases your value. Imagine you own two tools. One is old, rusty, and rarely maintained. The other is sharpened regularly and kept in excellent condition. Which one would perform better? Your mind works the same way. Every book you read sharpens your thinking. Every course you complete increases your knowledge. Every new skill expands your opportunities. As your knowledge grows, so does your ability to solve problems. And people who solve valuable problems are rewarded with better careers, stronger businesses, and higher incomes. The marketplace pays for value. Learning helps you create more of it. Read what others ignore. One habit almost every successful entrepreneur, investor, and leader shares is reading. Books contain decades of experience, research, and wisdom compressed into just a few hundred pages. Imagine learning lessons that took someone 30 years to discover, in just a few days of reading. That's an incredible return on your time. Reading broadens your perspective. It introduces new ideas. It challenges old beliefs. And it helps you avoid costly mistakes. The more you learn, the better your decisions become. Learn beyond your profession. It's important to improve your professional skills. But don't stop there. Study communication, leadership, psychology, negotiation, finance, marketing, artificial intelligence, time management, emotional intelligence. Every new subject adds another layer to your understanding of the world. Sometimes the greatest breakthroughs come from combining knowledge from different fields. A great entrepreneur may succeed because they understand both technology and psychology. A great leader combines business knowledge with excellent communication. The wider your knowledge, the greater your opportunities. Stay curious. Children ask hundreds of questions because they're naturally curious. As adults, many people lose that curiosity. They stop asking why. They stop exploring. They stop challenging their assumptions. But curiosity is one of the greatest drivers of success. Curious people discover opportunities others overlook. They experiment. They improve. They innovate. Instead of fearing change, they become excited by it. Never lose your desire to learn something new. Curiosity keeps your mind young and your opportunities growing. Learn from every experience. Not every lesson comes from a classroom. Some of the most valuable lessons come from everyday life. A failed business teaches resilience. A difficult customer teaches patience. A mistake teaches wisdom. A successful project teaches confidence. Every experience contains a lesson if you're willing to look for it. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What can this teach me?" That simple question transforms setbacks into stepping stones. Invest time before entertainment. We all enjoy relaxing, watching movies, scrolling through social media, playing games. There's nothing wrong with entertainment. But successful people often balance entertainment with education. Imagine spending just 30 minutes each day learning something valuable. That's over 180 hours in a year. Enough time to master new skills, read dozens of books, or complete several professional courses. Small daily learning habits create extraordinary long-term results. The world rewards adaptability. The world changes faster than ever before. Jobs evolve. Technology advances. Entire industries transform. The people who thrive are not necessarily the strongest or the smartest. They are the most adaptable. Lifelong learners don't fear change. They prepare for it. When new technology appears, they learn it. When industries shift, they develop new skills. When opportunities emerge, they're ready. Learning keeps you relevant in a constantly changing world. Your greatest investment never stops paying. Think about every investment you've made. Some increase in value. Some lose value. Some produce modest returns. But one investment has the potential to pay you every single day for the rest of your life. That's the investment you make in yourself. No market crash can erase your knowledge. No recession can take away your skills. No one can steal your experience. The more you learn, the more confident you become. The more confident you become, the better decisions you make. Better decisions create better opportunities. And better opportunities create greater wealth. Make learning a daily habit. You don't have to spend hours studying every day. Start small. Read 10 pages. Listen to an audiobook during your commute. Watch an educational video. Take an online course. Ask successful people thoughtful questions. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is consistency. Just as compound interest grows money, daily learning compounds knowledge. 1 year from now, you'll be amazed by how much you've grown simply because you chose to keep learning. Chapter 12. Build multiple streams of income. One paycheck creates dependence. Several income streams create security. The fastest way to feel financially vulnerable is to depend on one source of income. The fastest way to build financial security is to create several. Imagine a table standing on a single leg. No matter how strong that one leg is, the table is unstable. A single push can cause it to fall. Now imagine a table with 4 strong legs. If one leg becomes weak, the table still stands. Your financial life works the same way. If all of your income comes from one paycheck, your financial future depends on one employer, one business, or one source of money. If that income suddenly disappears, your entire financial life can be shaken. But when you have multiple streams of income, you create stability. If one stream slows down, the others continue flowing. That is why many wealthy people don't rely on just one source of income. They build several. The risk of depending on one paycheck. For many people, payday feels like a lifeline. Every bill, every expense, and every financial goal depends on that next paycheck arriving on time. There is nothing wrong with having a job. In fact, a steady job is often the foundation of financial success. The problem is believing that one paycheck is enough forever. Companies change. Industries evolve. Technology replaces certain jobs. Economic conditions shift. Even the best employees can experience unexpected setbacks. When all of your income comes from one place, you carry more risk than you may realize. Financial security comes from reducing dependence, not increasing it. Think like a river, not a pipe. Imagine your income as water flowing into your life. If all the water comes through one pipe, what happens if that pipe breaks? The flow stops. Now imagine several rivers flowing toward you. One comes from your career, another from investments, another from a small business, another from digital products or royalties. If one stream becomes smaller, the others continue flowing. That's the mindset of financially successful people. They don't ask, "How can I earn more from one source?" They ask, "How can I create another source of income?" Your job is your first stream, not your only stream. Your primary job provides stability. It pays the bills. It allows you to save and invest. But it doesn't have to be your only source of income. Many people build additional income while keeping their full-time jobs. Some start freelance businesses. Some teach online. Some create digital products. Some invest in dividend-paying assets. Some write books. Some build YouTube channels. Some earn royalties from creative work. The goal isn't to work endlessly. The goal is to create income that continues growing beyond your paycheck. Turn your skills into income. Think back to the skills you've developed. Can you teach them? Can you coach someone? Can you offer consulting? Can you create a course? Can you write about your experience? Can you solve a problem that people are willing to pay for? Many people underestimate the value of what they already know. The knowledge you've gained through years of work could become another income stream. Your experience is more valuable than you think. The question is how you choose to use it. Let your money earn money. Not every income stream requires more hours of work. Some require smart investing. When you invest in quality assets, those assets have the potential to generate returns over time. Instead of depending entirely on your effort, part of your income begins coming from your investments. This changes the way you think about money. You're no longer relying only on your time. Your assets begin contributing to your financial future. That's one of the most important shifts on the journey to wealth. Start small, grow slowly. Many people never build additional income because they believe they must create something huge from the beginning. That's rarely how success works. Every successful business started with one customer. Every popular YouTube channel began with one video. Every best-selling author wrote one page before writing a book. Every investor bought their first investment before building a portfolio. Don't focus on creating a massive second income overnight. Focus on creating your first extra dollar. Small beginnings often lead to extraordinary results when combined with consistency. Diversification creates peace of mind. Financial security isn't just about having more money. It's about having fewer worries. Imagine losing your primary job but knowing you still have investment income, freelance clients, or a growing online business. The situation would still be challenging. But it wouldn't be devastating. Multiple income streams provide confidence because they reduce uncertainty. You sleep better knowing your future doesn't depend entirely on one paycheck. That peace of mind is one of the greatest financial rewards. Avoid trading all your time for money. Many people believe earning more always requires working more hours. Eventually, they discover a limit. There are only 24 hours in a day. That's why financially successful people look for ways to separate income from time. They create businesses. They build investments. They develop products that can be sold repeatedly. They create systems that continue producing value even when they're not actively working. The goal is not simply to work harder. The goal is to build smarter. Keep building, even after success. One of the reasons wealthy people stay wealthy is that they never stop building. Even after creating one successful income stream, they continue looking for new opportunities. Not because they are greedy, because they understand the importance of resilience. Markets change. Businesses evolve. Technology advances. Having several sources of income provides flexibility and protection. The more diversified your financial life becomes, the stronger it becomes. Begin today. You don't need a perfect business plan. You don't need thousands of dollars. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow. You simply need to begin. Learn a valuable skill. Start a small project. Invest consistently. Explore opportunities that match your strengths. Every additional income stream starts with one decision. The decision to stop depending on a single source of money. Your future doesn't change overnight. It changes one wise decision at a time. Chapter 13. Protect your money before chasing more money. Emergency funds, insurance, and risk management. Making money is important. Keeping it is even more important. Imagine you've spent years building a beautiful house. You've invested your time, your energy, and your savings to create something valuable. But after all that hard work, you decide not to install locks on the doors, not to buy insurance, and not to prepare for unexpected storms. Would that be a wise decision? Of course not. You would protect what you've worked so hard to build. Yet many people do the opposite with their finances. They focus all their attention on earning more money while giving very little thought to protecting the money they already have. They chase bigger salaries, better investments, and new business opportunities, but they neglect the financial safety nets that can prevent a single unexpected event from destroying years of progress. The wealthy understand an important principle. Building wealth is only half the journey. Protecting it is the other half. Life is unpredictable. No one plans for emergencies. No one wakes up hoping their car breaks down, they lose their job, or a medical emergency suddenly appears. But unexpected events are part of life. The question isn't whether challenges will come. The question is whether you'll be financially prepared when they do. Many families fall into debt not because they were careless, but because they had no financial cushion when life surprised them. A single unexpected expense can force people to borrow money, sell investments too early, or abandon long-term financial goals. Preparation changes everything. Your emergency fund is your financial shield. Think of an emergency fund as your first line of defense. It isn't money for vacations. It isn't money for shopping. It isn't money for opportunities that simply look exciting. Its purpose is simple: to protect you when life becomes unpredictable. Imagine losing your job tomorrow. Would you panic? Or would you have enough savings to calmly search for the right opportunity without making desperate decisions? An emergency fund gives you something incredibly valuable: time. Instead of reacting out of fear, you can respond with confidence. Financial security often begins with knowing that one unexpected event won't destroy your future. Save before the emergency happens. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing they'll start saving after life becomes easier. But emergencies rarely wait for the perfect moment. The best time to prepare is while everything is going well. Think about firefighters. They don't learn how to use their equipment after a fire begins. They prepare beforehand. Your emergency fund works the same way. You build it during calm seasons so it protects you during difficult ones. Preparation is far less expensive than panic. Insurance is protection, not an expense. Many people view insurance as money they hope never to use. Because of that, they often underestimate its value. But insurance is not designed to make you wealthy. It's designed to prevent one major event from making you financially vulnerable. Whether it's health insurance, life insurance, home insurance, or vehicle insurance, the purpose is the same: to reduce the financial impact of unexpected events. Imagine spending 20 years building wealth only to lose a large portion of it because one major expense wasn't protected. Insurance helps prevent setbacks from becoming disasters. It's not about expecting bad things to happen. It's about being prepared if they do. Don't risk everything for more. Sometimes people become so focused on making more money that they take unnecessary risks. They invest all their savings into one opportunity. They borrow heavily without understanding the consequences. They ignore diversification. They believe every opportunity is worth pursuing. But successful wealth builders think differently. Before asking, "How much can I make?" they ask, "What could I lose?" Protecting your downside is just as important as growing your upside. Wise financial decisions balance opportunity with caution. Diversification reduces risk. Imagine planting an entire farm with only one type of crop. If disease destroys that crop, everything is lost. Now imagine growing several different crops. If one performs poorly, the others may still succeed. The same principle applies to money. Don't depend on one investment. Don't rely on one source of income. Don't place your entire future on a single opportunity. Diversification doesn't eliminate risk, but it reduces the chance that one mistake or one unexpected event will destroy everything you've built. Avoid emotional financial decisions. Fear and excitement are two dangerous financial advisors. When markets fall, fear tells people to sell everything. When prices rise quickly, excitement encourages people to invest without thinking. Neither emotion leads to wise decisions. Successful investors remain calm. They follow a plan. They prepare before problems arise. They understand that protecting wealth requires patience, discipline, and clear thinking, not emotional reactions. Your greatest financial advantage often comes from staying steady while others panic. Peace of mind is a financial asset. One benefit of protecting your money rarely appears on financial statements. Peace of mind. Knowing you have emergency savings. Knowing your family is protected. Knowing unexpected expenses won't destroy years of hard work. That confidence changes the way you live. You make better decisions. You take thoughtful risks instead of desperate ones. You focus on opportunities rather than constant worry. Financial protection creates emotional stability. And emotional stability leads to better financial decisions. Build before you need it. Many people don't appreciate financial protection until after they've needed it. Don't wait for hardship to discover the value of preparation. Start today. Build your emergency fund 1 month at a time. Review your insurance needs. Avoid unnecessary financial risks. Continue investing wisely while protecting what you've already built. Remember, wealth isn't measured only by how much you earn. It's measured by how well your money survives difficult seasons. Chapter 14. Say no more often. Every yes costs money, time, and focus. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're saying no to something that truly matters. Imagine you're given $100,000 at the beginning of the year. But there's one condition. Every dollar you spend can never be replaced. You would probably think carefully before making every purchase. Now imagine you're given something even more valuable. Every year, you're given 8,760 hours. Every hour you spend is gone forever. Just like money, your time is limited. And every decision you make, every yes you say, costs you both time and money. The wealthy understand this simple truth. Success isn't only about knowing what to say yes to. It's also about knowing what to say no to. Every yes has a hidden cost. Most people only see the immediate cost of a decision. Buying an expensive gadget costs money. Going out for dinner costs money. Taking on another commitment costs time. But every decision has another cost that is often invisible. It's called opportunity cost. When you spend $500 on something unnecessary, that's $500 that can't be invested. When you spend 3 hours scrolling through social media, those are 3 hours you can't spend learning a new skill. Every yes automatically closes the door on another opportunity. Successful people understand this. That's why they make decisions carefully. Learn to protect your time. Money can be earned again. Time cannot. Yet many people protect their money more carefully than they protect their schedule. They agree to meetings they don't need. They attend events they don't enjoy. They spend hours on distractions that add little value. At the end of the day, they wonder why they never seem to make progress. The problem isn't always a lack of time. It's a lack of priorities. Every hour should have a purpose. When you protect your time, you protect your future. Not every opportunity is the right opportunity. Sometimes good opportunities can prevent you from finding great ones. Imagine saying yes to every business idea, every investment, every invitation, every project. Eventually, your attention becomes scattered. Your energy becomes divided. Your results become average. Highly successful people don't chase every opportunity. They focus on the opportunities that align with their long-term goals. Remember this. A focused life usually produces better results than a busy life. Stop trying to please everyone. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to say no is fear. Fear of disappointing others. Fear of missing out. Fear of being judged. So they keep saying yes. Yes to lending money they can't afford to lose. Yes to unnecessary spending. Yes to commitments that leave them exhausted. The truth is simple. You cannot build the life you want if you're constantly living according to everyone else's expectations. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It means you're taking responsibility for your future. People who respect your goals will understand your boundaries. Small no's create big results. Financial success isn't built through one dramatic decision. It's built through hundreds of small choices. Saying no to impulse purchases. Saying no to unnecessary subscriptions. Saying no to expensive habits that don't improve your life. Saying no to debt for things you don't truly need. Each decision may seem small, but over months and years, those choices create enormous financial differences. Every dollar you don't waste becomes another dollar that can be invested in your future. Say yes to your goals instead. Every time you say no to something unimportant, you're actually saying yes to something more valuable. You're saying yes to financial freedom. Yes to investing. Yes to learning. Yes to spending more time with your family. Yes to building a business. Yes to better health. Successful people don't see discipline as giving something up. They see it as choosing something better. That simple shift in perspective makes discipline much easier. Create boundaries around your life. Think of your goals as a valuable garden. If you leave the gate open, weeds quickly take over. Distractions work the same way. Without boundaries, unnecessary commitments slowly fill your calendar. Protect your mornings if that's when you're most productive. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Limit activities that don't move your life forward. Learn to politely decline requests that don't align with your priorities. Boundaries are not barriers to success. They are one of the reasons success becomes possible. The wealthy value focus. Look at successful entrepreneurs, investors, and leaders. They rarely try to do everything. Instead, they concentrate on a few important things and do them exceptionally well. They understand that focus creates excellence. Every unnecessary commitment weakens that focus. The ability to concentrate on what matters most is one of the greatest competitive advantages you can develop. A distracted mind rarely builds extraordinary wealth. A focused mind often does. Make decisions with your future in mind. Before saying yes to anything, ask yourself 3 simple questions. Does this move me closer to my goals? Is this worth my time? Will my future self thank me for this decision? If the answer is no, don't be afraid to decline. Your future is shaped more by the decisions you reject than the ones you accept. Every wise no creates space for a more meaningful yes. Chapter 15. Take calculated risks. Most successful people aren't fearless. They're prepared. Success doesn't belong to the people who avoid every risk. It belongs to the people who understand risk, prepare for it, and act with confidence. Imagine two people standing at the edge of a river. Both want to reach the other side because they know greater opportunities are waiting there. The first person is so afraid of falling that they refuse to cross. They stay exactly where they are, watching others move forward. The second person doesn't jump in blindly. They study the river, find the safest crossing, prepare the right equipment, and carefully make their way across. Who is more likely to succeed? The second person. They weren't fearless. They were prepared. That is the difference between reckless risk and calculated risk. Every great opportunity involves risk. Many people believe wealthy individuals succeed because they take huge risks. The truth is different. Successful people know that every worthwhile opportunity carries some level of uncertainty. Starting a business involves risk. Changing careers involves risk. Investing in the stock market involves risk. Learning a new skill requires risking your time and effort. Even doing nothing carries risk. If you never invest, inflation slowly reduces the value of your money. If you never learn new skills, your career may stop growing. If you never leave your comfort zone, your opportunities remain limited. The question is not whether you'll face risk. The question is which risks are worth taking. The biggest risk is standing still. Many people believe staying where they are is the safest option. But in today's world, standing still can be one of the greatest financial risks. Technology changes. Industries evolve. New competitors appear. Skills become outdated. People who refuse to adapt often discover that their safe choice became their biggest mistake. Growth requires movement. And movement always involves uncertainty. The goal isn't to eliminate risk. It's to manage it wisely. Preparation reduces fear. Fear often comes from uncertainty. The less prepared you are, the more frightening a decision feels. Imagine investing in a business without doing any research. That would be reckless. Now imagine spending months studying the market, understanding the numbers, learning from experienced people, and creating a backup plan. Would you still feel nervous? Probably. But your confidence would be much greater. Preparation doesn't remove all risk. It dramatically improves your chances of success. Knowledge transforms fear into confidence. Do your homework first. Before making any major financial decision, ask yourself, have I done enough research? Do I understand the potential rewards? Do I understand the possible losses? Can I afford this risk if things don't go as planned? Successful people don't rely on hope. They rely on preparation. They ask questions. They seek advice. They learn from people who have already succeeded. Then they make informed decisions. Learn from failure without fearing it. One reason many people avoid taking risks is the fear of failure. But failure is often one of life's greatest teachers. Nearly every successful entrepreneur, investor, and innovator has experienced setbacks. The difference is that they didn't allow failure to define them. Instead, they treated every mistake as valuable feedback. Each setback taught them what to improve. Each challenge made them wiser. Failure is expensive only when you refuse to learn from it. When you learn the lesson, failure becomes an investment in future success. Start small. You don't have to risk everything to achieve great things. In fact, the smartest risks are often small at first. Start a side business before leaving your full-time job. Invest a manageable amount while learning about the market. Test an idea before investing large amounts of money. Build experience step by step. Small risks allow you to gain confidence while limiting potential losses. As your knowledge grows, your ability to make bigger decisions grows with it. Don't let comfort become your prison. Comfort feels safe. But comfort rarely creates extraordinary results. If you always choose the easiest path, you'll often receive average outcomes. Every meaningful achievement requires stepping beyond what feels familiar. That doesn't mean acting carelessly. It means being willing to grow. Growth happens just outside your comfort zone. The people who achieve financial freedom aren't those who avoid discomfort. They're the ones who accept temporary uncertainty in exchange for long-term opportunity. Balance courage with wisdom. Confidence without preparation becomes recklessness. Preparation without action becomes procrastination. Success requires both courage and wisdom. Research carefully. Plan thoroughly. Then act decisively. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect opportunity. But perfection rarely arrives. Sometimes the greatest risk is waiting too long. There comes a moment when learning must become action. Think long-term. Calculated risks should always support your long-term goals. Ask yourself, will this opportunity help me grow? Does it match my values? Will it improve my financial future? Can I recover if it doesn't work out? If the answers give you confidence, don't let fear stop you. Some of the greatest rewards in life belong to those who are willing to take thoughtful, well-prepared action. Success favors the prepared. When people look at successful individuals, they often say, they were lucky. What they don't see are the months of learning, the careful planning, the difficult decisions, the preparation behind every opportunity. Luck often appears where preparation meets opportunity. The more prepared you become, the more opportunities you'll recognize, and the more confident you'll be to act on them. That's how successful people create results that others mistake for luck. Chapter 16. Make decisions using numbers, not emotions. How wealthy people think logically. Emotions make us feel good in the moment. Numbers help us make decisions that are good for a lifetime. Imagine two investors watching the stock market fall. The first investor panics. They open their investment app every few minutes, watching prices drop lower and lower. Fear takes over, and they quickly sell everything, convinced they're protecting themselves from even bigger losses. The second investor also notices the market decline. But instead of reacting emotionally, they review the facts. They look at the long-term performance of their investments, examine the financial health of the companies they own, and remember the strategy they created before investing. One investor is driven by fear. The other is guided by numbers. Years later, their financial futures look very different. The difference wasn't intelligence. It wasn't luck. It was emotional control. Successful people understand that emotions are valuable in relationships, creativity, and personal experiences, but when it comes to money, logic must lead the way. Feelings change. Numbers tell the truth. Emotions change every day. You may feel confident one morning and uncertain by evening. You may feel excited after hearing good news or fearful after reading negative headlines. If your financial decisions change with every emotion, your future becomes unpredictable. Numbers don't behave that way. Numbers are objective. They reveal reality. They tell you how much you earn, how much you spend, how much you save, how fast your investments are growing, whether you're moving closer to your goals or drifting away from them. The wealthy trust data more than temporary emotions. The cost of emotional spending. Have you ever bought something simply because you were stressed? Or celebrated with an expensive purchase you didn't really need? Or convinced yourself that a discount meant you were saving money, even though you hadn't planned to buy the item? Almost everyone has. Emotional spending is one of the biggest obstacles to building wealth. Many purchases are driven by boredom, frustration, excitement, or the desire to impress others. But once the emotion disappears, the financial consequences remain. That's why successful people pause before making major purchases. Instead of asking, "Do I want this?" they ask, "Does this fit my financial plan?" That one question prevents countless expensive mistakes. Measure what matters. Imagine trying to lose weight without ever stepping on a scale, or trying to improve your fitness without tracking your progress. It would be difficult to know whether you're improving. Money works the same way. If you never track your income, expenses, savings, and investments, it's impossible to know whether you're moving forward. The wealthy measure what matters. They know where their money goes. They review their finances regularly. They make adjustments when necessary. Because what gets measured gets improved. Create a financial scoreboard. Every successful business keeps track of important numbers. Revenue, expenses, profit, growth. Your personal finances deserve the same attention. Create your own financial scoreboard. Track your monthly income. Monitor your spending. Measure your savings rate. Review your investment growth. Calculate your net worth from time to time. These numbers aren't meant to make you anxious. They're meant to help you make better decisions. When you know your numbers, you gain clarity. And clarity creates confidence. Don't let fear control investing. Markets rise. Markets fall. Economic conditions change. These cycles are normal. Unfortunately, many people allow fear to dictate their investment decisions. They buy when everyone else is excited. They sell when everyone else is afraid. In other words, they often buy high and sell low. Wealthy investors do the opposite. They rely on research. They follow a long-term plan. They avoid making decisions based on headlines or temporary market emotions. Discipline often outperforms emotion. Separate wants from needs. One of the simplest ways to make logical financial decisions is to separate needs from wants. Needs are essential. Housing, food, healthcare, education, basic transportation. Wants are things that improve comfort but aren't necessary for survival. Luxury gadgets, designer brands, frequent upgrades, impulse purchases. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your money. The key is making those decisions intentionally. The wealthy don't eliminate wants. They prioritize needs, investments, and long-term goals before spending on luxuries. Think in percentages, not just prices. Imagine two people each receive a $5,000 bonus. One spends the entire amount on a vacation. The other invests 80% and enjoys the remaining 20%. Both enjoy life. But one also strengthens their future. Wealthy people often think in percentages. Instead of asking, "How much does this cost?" they ask, "What percentage of my income or savings does this represent?" This way of thinking keeps spending proportional and sustainable. Give every decision time. Many expensive mistakes happen because people make decisions too quickly. A salesperson creates urgency. A limited-time sale creates pressure. A friend encourages an impulse purchase. Instead of reacting immediately, successful people create space between emotion and action. They wait. They review the numbers. They compare options. Sometimes, after 24 hours, they realize they no longer want what seemed so important yesterday. Patience protects your wallet. Let your goals guide your decisions. Every financial decision should move you closer to a meaningful goal. Before making a purchase, investment, or financial commitment, ask yourself, will this help me build the future I want? If the answer is yes, move forward with confidence. If the answer is no, reconsider. When your goals become stronger than your emotions, your financial life begins to change. That's how wealth is built, not through perfect decisions, but through consistent, logical ones. Chapter 17. Build a powerful network. Relationships often create opportunities faster than resumes. Your network is more than a list of contacts. It's a community of people who can inspire you, challenge you, and open doors that talent alone sometimes cannot. Imagine two equally qualified professionals applying for the same opportunity. Both have excellent resumes. Both have the necessary skills. Both work hard. But one receives the job offer before the interviews even begin. Why? Because someone who knows their character recommends them. A trusted relationship opens the door. This happens every day in business, careers, and entrepreneurship. While skills help you qualify for opportunities, relationships often help you discover them. That's why one of the smartest investments you can make is building a strong network of genuine, meaningful connections. Success is rarely a solo journey. It's easy to admire successful people and imagine they achieved everything on their own. But if you look closely, you'll usually find mentors, colleagues, partners, teachers, clients, friends, and supporters who help them along the way. No one builds a great business entirely alone. No one creates a remarkable career without learning from others. Behind every successful person is a network of people who shared knowledge, offered encouragement, introduced new opportunities, or believed in them during difficult times. Success grows faster when people grow together. Relationships create opportunities. Many opportunities never appear in job advertisements or online listings. They're shared through conversations, recommendations, introductions, friendships, professional relationships. A simple conversation at an event may lead to a business partnership. A mentor may introduce you to your next employer. A former colleague may recommend you for an exciting project. These opportunities aren't based only on what you know. They're also influenced by who knows you and trusts you. That's why your reputation is one of your greatest assets. Give before you ask. Many people make the mistake of networking only when they need something. They contact people only when they're looking for a job, funding, or a favor. Successful network builders think differently. They ask, "How can I help?" They share ideas, offer encouragement, connect people who can help one another, celebrate other people's success, listen carefully, provide value without expecting an immediate reward. Ironically, the people who give the most often receive the greatest opportunities because others naturally want to help those who have helped them. Your reputation travels before you do. People talk, not only about products and businesses, but about character. Are you dependable? Do you keep your promises? Are you honest? Do you treat people with respect? Do you follow through on your commitments? These qualities quietly build your reputation. And your reputation often reaches opportunities before your resume ever does. Trust takes years to build and only moments to lose. Protect it carefully. Your character may become your greatest competitive advantage. Learn from people who think bigger. One of the greatest benefits of a strong network is exposure to new ideas. When you spend time with ambitious, curious, and positive people, your own thinking expands. You begin seeing possibilities you never noticed before. You discover industries you hadn't considered. You hear different perspectives. You challenge your assumptions. Growth often begins with one meaningful conversation. That's why it's important to intentionally spend time with people who inspire you to improve rather than settle for average. Build genuine relationships. Networking is not about collecting business cards or social media followers. It's about building trust. People can usually tell when someone is interested only in personal gain. Instead, focus on creating real relationships. Remember names. Show genuine interest. Ask thoughtful questions. Celebrate other people's achievements. Stay in touch even when you don't need anything. Strong relationships are built over time through consistency, honesty, and kindness. The goal isn't to know everyone. The goal is to be known as someone people enjoy working with and trust. Every person knows something you don't. One of the most valuable attitudes you can develop is humility. Every person you meet has experiences you've never had. lessons you've never learned, skills you haven't mastered. Whether you're speaking with an entrepreneur, a teacher, an artist, or a student, there's always something valuable to discover. Successful people never assume they know everything. They remain curious. They ask questions. They listen more than they speak. That's how they continue growing throughout their lives. Your network should include different perspectives. Don't limit yourself to people who think exactly like you. Some of the best ideas come from conversations with people from different industries, backgrounds, and experiences. A marketer may teach an engineer how to communicate better. An entrepreneur may help an employee think more creatively. An investor may introduce a completely new way of looking at risk. Diverse perspectives help you make wiser decisions and recognize opportunities that others miss. Invest in relationships consistently. Just like financial investments, relationships grow through regular attention. Send a message to check in. Congratulate someone on their success. Offer help without being asked. Express gratitude. Stay connected. Small acts of kindness strengthen relationships over time. And when opportunities arise, people naturally think of those they know, trust, and respect. That's how networks quietly become one of your most valuable assets. Be the opportunity for someone else. The greatest network builders don't focus only on receiving opportunities. They create them for others. Introduce two people who could benefit from meeting. Recommend someone for a position. Share useful knowledge. Encourage someone's dream. When you become known as someone who helps others succeed, your influence grows naturally. People remember those who made a positive difference in their lives. And that goodwill often returns in unexpected ways. Chapter 18. Own your time. Time management is wealth management. Money lost can often be earned again. Time lost is gone forever. The way you manage your time ultimately determines the way you build your wealth. Imagine that every morning, someone deposits $86,400 into your account. There's only one rule. Whatever you don't use by the end of the day disappears forever. You can't save it. You can't invest it for tomorrow. You can't get it back. Most people would spend every dollar carefully because they know it's valuable. Now replace those dollars with 86,400 seconds. That's exactly what you're given every day. Every sunrise brings a new account filled with time, and every sunset closes that account forever. The question isn't whether you have enough time. The question is how you choose to spend it. The wealthy understand something that many people overlook. Time is the most valuable asset you'll ever own. Time is more valuable than money. People often say, "I don't have enough money." But the truth is that everyone starts each day with the same 24 hours. Some people use those hours to create opportunities. Others allow distractions to quietly steal them away. Money can be replaced. You can earn another paycheck, recover from a business loss, rebuild an investment portfolio. But you can never earn back yesterday. Every hour that passes becomes part of your history. That's why successful people protect their time even more carefully than they protect their money. Every minute is an investment. Think of your time the same way you think about your money. Every minute is an investment. The question is, what return will I receive? Reading a good book may increase your knowledge. Learning a new skill may increase your future income. Exercising improves your health and energy. Building meaningful relationships creates future opportunities. But spending hours on meaningless distractions often produces no lasting return. Your calendar is a reflection of your priorities. If you want a different future, begin by changing how you spend your days. Busy doesn't mean productive. Many people confuse being busy with being successful. They answer emails all day, attend endless meetings, constantly switch from one task to another. By evening, they're exhausted. Yet they haven't moved significantly closer to their biggest goals. Being busy isn't the goal. Being effective is. The wealthy ask a different question. Instead of asking, "How much can I do today?" they ask, "What are the few things that will create the greatest results?" Success often comes from focusing on the important, not simply completing the urgent. Focus on high-value activities. Not every task deserves equal attention. Some activities change your future. Others simply fill your schedule. Learning new skills. Building your business. Creating valuable work. Planning investments. Strengthening relationships. These are high-value activities. They continue paying rewards long after the work is done. Successful people spend more time on activities that create lasting value instead of temporary busyness. Stop letting distractions control you. We live in a world designed to capture our attention. Notifications, social media, breaking news, endless entertainment. Each interruption may seem small, but together, they quietly steal hours every week. Imagine improving your life with just one extra focused hour every day. Over a year, that's more than 365 hours. Enough time to read dozens of books, learn valuable skills, start a side business, or completely transform your financial future. Small distractions create big losses. Small improvements create extraordinary gains. Plan your day before it begins. Highly successful people rarely leave their day to chance. They know what matters before the day starts. They identify their most important task. They schedule time for focused work. They avoid allowing other people's priorities to control their entire day. When you plan your day, you become intentional. Without a plan, distractions usually make your decisions for you. Your schedule should reflect your goals, not your impulses. Learn to say no to protect your time. Every commitment has a cost. Accepting one invitation means declining another opportunity. Taking on unnecessary responsibilities leaves less energy for meaningful work. That's why successful people are careful with their calendars. They understand that every yes requires giving away a piece of their time. And because time is limited, they reserve it for what truly matters. Protecting your schedule isn't selfish. It's one of the smartest financial decisions you can make. Create systems that save time. One reason wealthy people accomplish so much is that they build systems. They automate repetitive tasks. They organize their work. They develop routines. Instead of making the same decisions every day, they create habits that reduce mental effort. Think about your own life. Could bills be automated? Could meals be planned in advance? Could your mornings follow a simple routine? Every system saves time. And saved time can be invested into growth. Invest time in yourself first. Many people spend their entire day solving other people's problems while neglecting their own growth. They promise themselves they'll learn, exercise, or work on personal goals later. But later rarely arrives. Successful people often begin with themselves. They read, exercise, reflect, learn, plan. By investing in themselves first, they become more capable of helping others throughout the day. The greatest return on your time often comes from improving yourself. Own your time, own your future. Imagine looking back 10 years from now. Would you remember every television show you watched? Every hour spent scrolling through your phone? Probably not. But you'll remember the skills you learned, the business you built, the relationships you strengthened, the books you read, the dreams you pursued. Time quietly becomes your future. How you spend today determines where you'll stand tomorrow. That's why managing your time isn't simply about productivity. It's about designing the life you want. Chapter 19. Avoid bad debt. Understand the difference between productive debt and destructive debt. Debt is neither good nor bad by itself. The real question is simple. Is this debt making you richer, or is it making you poorer? Imagine two people each borrow $50,000. The first person uses the money to buy a luxury car they can barely afford. Every month they make large payments on an asset that loses value over time. 5 years later, the car is worth much less than they paid, but the financial stress remains. The second person borrows the same amount to start a carefully planned business, invest in an education that dramatically increases their income, or purchase an asset that generates cash flow. Over time, that investment produces returns far greater than the cost of the loan. Both people borrowed money, but one debt created wealth. The other destroyed it. That is why financially successful people don't simply ask, "Can I borrow this money?" They ask, "What will this debt do for my future?" Debt is a tool. Think about a hammer. In the hands of a skilled builder, it helps construct a beautiful home. In careless hands, it can cause damage. Debt works the same way. It is a financial tool. Used wisely, it can help you build wealth. Used carelessly, it can keep you trapped in financial stress for years. The key isn't avoiding all debt. The key is understanding the difference between productive debt and destructive debt. What is productive debt? Productive debt helps create more value than it costs. It has the potential to increase your income, grow your assets, or improve your long-term financial position. For example, borrowing to earn valuable education or professional training can increase your lifetime earning potential. Borrowing to purchase an income-producing asset may generate cash flow for years. Investing in a well-planned business can create opportunities that continue growing long after the loan has been repaid. Notice the common theme. Productive debt is connected to future growth. It has a purpose beyond immediate pleasure. What is destructive debt? Destructive debt is very different. It is used to buy things that quickly lose value or provide only temporary satisfaction. Expensive vacations paid entirely with credit. Luxury items purchased to impress others. Impulse shopping. Constantly upgrading phones, cars, or gadgets without financial necessity. These purchases may bring excitement for a short time, but the monthly payments often remain long after the excitement disappears. Instead of helping your future, destructive debt quietly steals from it. It reduces your ability to save, limits your ability to invest, and increases financial pressure. Interest can work for you or against you. Earlier in this book, we learned about the incredible power of compound growth. The same principle applies to debt. When you invest wisely, compound growth works in your favor. When you carry expensive debt, compound interest works against you. Every month that high-interest debt remains unpaid, it quietly grows. Money that could have been invested now goes toward interest payments instead. The longer the debt remains, the more expensive it becomes. That's why eliminating high-interest consumer debt is often one of the smartest financial decisions you can make. Don't borrow to impress. One of the biggest financial traps is trying to appear wealthy instead of becoming wealthy. Many people finance expensive lifestyles because they want others to admire them. Luxury cars, designer clothing, the newest technology, large homes beyond their means. From the outside, everything looks impressive. Behind the scenes, financial stress quietly grows. The wealthy understand something important. Real wealth is not about looking rich. It's about having financial freedom. Freedom comes from owning assets, not from making endless monthly payments. Ask better questions before borrowing. Before taking on any debt, pause and ask yourself, will this purchase increase my future income? Will it create an asset? Can I comfortably afford the payments? What happens if my income decreases? Is this a need or simply a temporary want? These questions create clarity. They help separate emotional decisions from wise financial decisions. Often, a few minutes of careful thinking can prevent years of unnecessary financial pressure. Live below your borrowing power. Just because a bank approves a large loan doesn't mean you should accept it. Lenders evaluate what you may qualify for. They don't decide what aligns with your financial goals. Successful people borrow conservatively. They leave room in their budget for investing, saving, unexpected expenses, and future opportunities. Financial flexibility is far more valuable than living at the absolute limit of your borrowing capacity. Freedom is better than possessions. Imagine waking up each morning without worrying about overwhelming monthly payments. Imagine having the freedom to invest, travel, change careers, start a business, help your family. That freedom becomes much easier to achieve when debt is under control. Every unnecessary payment limits your choices. Every debt you eliminate increases your freedom. Financial independence isn't measured by how many expensive things you own. It's measured by how much control you have over your own life. Make debt work for you. If you choose to borrow, let the debt support your future. Borrow to build. Borrow to learn. Borrow to create value. Never borrow simply to satisfy a temporary emotion. Money borrowed for growth can become an investment. Money borrowed for instant gratification often becomes a burden. The decision is always yours. Choose carefully. Chapter 20. Create systems instead of relying on motivation. Automatic investing. Automatic saving. Automatic success. Motivation gets you started. Systems keep you going. Wealth is rarely built by occasional bursts of effort. It is built by consistent habits that happen automatically. Imagine two people who both decide to improve their financial future. The first person is highly motivated. They promise themselves they'll save money every month, invest regularly, and stick to a budget. For the first few weeks, everything goes well. But then life gets busy. Unexpected expenses appear. Work becomes stressful. Gradually, their good intentions fade, and old habits return. The second person also wants to build wealth. But instead of depending on motivation, they create a system. Every payday, a portion of their salary is automatically transferred into savings. Another portion is automatically invested. Bills are paid automatically. Their budget is planned in advance. Even on days when they don't feel motivated, their financial plan continues working. Years later, the difference is remarkable. Not because one person worked harder, but because one relied on feelings, while the other relied on systems. Motivation comes and goes. Everyone feels inspired from time to time. A great book, a motivational speech, a successful friend, a New Year's resolution. These moments create excitement. But excitement doesn't last forever. Some mornings you'll feel energetic. Other days you'll feel tired, distracted, or overwhelmed. If your financial success depends entirely on how you feel, your progress will always be inconsistent. Successful people understand this. They don't trust motivation. They trust routines. Systems remove guesswork. Imagine brushing your teeth. You probably don't wake up every morning asking yourself whether you feel motivated to do it. It's simply part of your routine. That's the power of a system. Good habits become automatic. Financial success works the same way. Instead of deciding every month whether to save money, create a system that saves automatically. Instead of remembering to invest, automate your investments. When good financial decisions happen without constant effort, success becomes much easier. Pay yourself automatically. Earlier in this book, we learned the importance of paying yourself first. The easiest way to follow that principle is through automation. The moment your income arrives, let part of it move directly into savings or investments. You never have the chance to spend it. You don't rely on willpower. Your future receives its share before your daily expenses begin. This simple system removes one of the biggest obstacles to building wealth: temptation. Automatic investing builds long-term wealth. One of the greatest advantages of automatic investing is consistency. Markets rise. Markets fall. News headlines create excitement and fear. But automatic investing continues quietly in the background. You invest regularly regardless of short-term market movements. Over many years, this disciplined approach often produces better results than constantly trying to predict the perfect time to invest. Consistency usually beats perfection. Build habits that work without you. Think about the habits that shape your life. Some happen automatically. You lock your door before leaving home. You wear a seatbelt when driving. You check your phone without thinking. Habits become powerful because they require very little mental effort. The same principle can improve your finances. Create routines for reviewing your budget, tracking expenses, reading about investing, learning new skills. Once these behaviors become habits, they require less motivation and more consistency. Make good decisions easy. Many people unknowingly design their lives to make bad habits easy and good habits difficult. They keep credit cards ready for impulse purchases. They postpone saving until the end of the month. They wait for the right mood to learn something new. Successful people reverse this. They make saving easy, investing automatic, learning enjoyable, spending intentional. The easier you make good financial choices, the more likely you'll continue making them. Small systems produce big results. Never underestimate small improvements. Saving a little every month may seem insignificant. Investing regularly may feel slow. Reading a few pages each day may not seem life-changing. But these small actions compound over time. Just as compound interest grows money, compound habits build success. Years from now, you'll see remarkable results, not because of one extraordinary decision, but because of thousands of small actions repeated consistently. That's the hidden power of systems. Build systems for every area of your financial life. Wealth isn't built by one habit alone. Create systems throughout your financial life. Set up automatic savings. Schedule regular investment contributions. Review your finances once each month. Keep an emergency fund growing steadily. Continue learning through books, podcasts, or audiobooks. Track your goals regularly. Each system supports the others. Together, they create a financial life that becomes stronger every year. Success becomes predictable. When you rely on motivation, your progress depends on your emotions. When you rely on systems, your progress becomes predictable. You save because it's automatic. You invest because it's scheduled. You learn because it's part of your daily routine. Eventually, you stop asking, "Will I reach financial freedom?" Instead, you begin asking, "When?" Because consistent systems make success far more likely. Start with one simple system. You don't need to automate everything today. Begin with one habit. Set up an automatic transfer to savings. Schedule a monthly investment. Choose a regular time each week to review your finances. Read 10 pages before bed every night. Master one system before adding another. Small improvements repeated consistently create extraordinary lives. Remember, successful people aren't necessarily more motivated. They simply build systems that make success almost inevitable. Chapter 21. Think long-term. The wealthy think in decades. Most people think in weekends. The decisions you make today don't just shape your tomorrow, they shape the next 10, 20, or even 30 years of your life. Imagine two people who are both 30 years old. They earn similar salaries. They have similar opportunities. They live in the same city. At first, their financial lives look almost identical. But they think very differently. The first person plans only for the next weekend. They ask questions like, "Where should I go this weekend? What should I buy next? How can I enjoy my money today?" The second person asks different questions. Where do I want to be in 10 years? What decisions today will make my future easier? How can I build wealth that lasts for decades? 20 years later, their lives are completely different. The first person has wonderful memories, but little financial security. The second person also enjoyed life, but they built investments, valuable assets, and financial freedom along the way. The difference wasn't income. It was perspective. The wealthy think in decades, while most people think only about the next few days. The future is built one decision at a time. Many people imagine that financial success comes from one brilliant investment or one lucky opportunity. In reality, wealth is usually built through hundreds of small decisions made consistently over many years. Saving a little every month. Investing regularly. Reading books. Learning new skills. Avoiding unnecessary debt. Living below your means. None of these decisions feels dramatic. But together, they create extraordinary results. Small choices become big outcomes when given enough time. Delayed rewards create greater freedom. One reason long-term thinkers become wealthy is that they're willing to sacrifice small pleasures for much bigger rewards. They understand that buying every new gadget today may delay financial freedom tomorrow. Instead of asking, "What do I want right now?" they ask, "What will matter most 5 or 10 years from now?" That simple shift changes everything. It helps them invest instead of overspend, save instead of waste, build instead of consume. Every delayed reward becomes an investment in a better future. Think like an investor. Successful investors don't expect to become wealthy overnight. They understand that real wealth grows slowly. A tree doesn't become tall in one season. A business doesn't become successful in 1 month. An investment portfolio doesn't double in a year without significant risk. Everything valuable requires time. That's why patient investors often outperform impatient ones. They allow compound growth to work. They stay focused during difficult times. And they trust the process instead of chasing quick results. Short-term thinking is expensive. Many financial mistakes happen because people focus only on immediate satisfaction. They finance expensive cars they can't comfortably afford. They spend bonuses instead of investing them. They ignore retirement because it feels too far away. They delay learning new skills because the benefits aren't immediate. These choices feel small today, but over the years, they become incredibly expensive. Every dollar not invested loses years of potential growth. Every year without learning limits future income. Every unnecessary debt payment reduces future freedom. Short-term thinking often creates long-term problems. Build for the life you want. Imagine building a house. Would you choose weak materials just because they're cheaper today? Probably not. You would invest in a strong foundation because you want the house to last for decades. Your financial life deserves the same approach. Build strong habits. Create an emergency fund. Invest consistently. Protect your health. Develop valuable skills. Strengthen meaningful relationships. These are the foundations of lasting wealth. They may not produce instant results, but they continue supporting your life for years to come. Ignore the noise. We live in a world obsessed with instant results. Social media celebrates overnight success. News headlines focus on today's market movements. Advertisements encourage immediate spending. It's easy to become distracted by short-term excitement. The wealthy stay focused on their long-term plan. They don't panic because of one difficult month. They don't change their strategy because of one headline. They understand that success is measured over years, not days. Patience becomes their competitive advantage. Ask better questions. Before making an important financial decision, pause and ask yourself, will this matter next month? Will this matter 5 years from now? Will my future self thank me for this decision? These questions shift your attention away from temporary emotions and toward lasting results. When you begin thinking this way, many unnecessary purchases suddenly lose their appeal, and many important investments become much easier to make. Plant seeds today. Imagine planting 2 trees. One today, the other 10 years from now. Which one will provide more shade? The answer is obvious. The same is true with money. The earlier you begin saving, investing, learning, and building good habits, the more time those decisions have to grow. You don't have to be perfect. You simply have to begin. Every great financial future starts with one small decision made today. Become the person your future needs. Long-term thinking isn't only about money. It's about becoming the kind of person who deserves lasting success. Read consistently. Keep learning. Develop discipline. Stay healthy. Honor your commitments. Improve a little every day. Your future income will often reflect the person you become, not just the work you do. The greatest investment is not only in your portfolio. It's in your character. Chapter 22. Invest in your health. Poor health destroys financial freedom. Energy creates opportunity. The greatest investment you'll ever make isn't in the stock market, real estate, or a business. It's in the body and mind that make all those investments possible. Imagine 2 entrepreneurs. Both have brilliant ideas. Both are hardworking. Both dream of building financial freedom. But one wakes up every morning full of energy, exercises regularly, eats nutritious food, sleeps well, and has the focus to work on important goals. The other constantly feels tired. They skip meals or eat unhealthy food, sleep only a few hours each night, and live under constant stress. 5 years later, who is more likely to build a successful business, make better decisions, and enjoy the rewards of their hard work? The answer is obvious. Success requires more than money. It requires energy. The truth is simple. Your health is the foundation upon which your wealth is built. Without it, even the greatest financial opportunities become difficult to enjoy. Health is your first wealth. Many people spend years chasing money while neglecting their health. They work long hours. Ignore exercise. Eat whatever is convenient. Sacrifice sleep. Tell themselves they'll take care of their health later. But later often becomes too late. Poor health can reduce your ability to work, increase medical expenses, limit your opportunities, and take away the freedom you've worked so hard to create. Financial freedom means little if you don't have the strength to enjoy it. That's why successful people treat health as an investment, not an afterthought. Energy creates opportunity. Think about your most productive days. You wake up refreshed. Your mind is clear. You focus easily. You solve problems faster. You communicate better. You make smarter decisions. Now think about days when you're exhausted. Everything feels harder. Simple tasks take longer. Small problems become frustrating. Poor decisions become more likely. The difference isn't usually intelligence. It's energy. Energy affects every area of your life, your career, your relationships, your finances, and your ability to recognize opportunities. When your energy improves, your performance improves. And better performance often leads to greater income. Prevention is cheaper than treatment. One of the smartest financial decisions you can make is preventing health problems before they become serious. A balanced diet costs less than years of medical treatment. Regular exercise costs less than chronic illness. Good sleep costs nothing, yet it improves nearly every area of your life. Many people delay healthy habits because they believe they don't have time. But illness often takes far more time than prevention ever would. The wealthy understand this. They invest in staying healthy because they know it's one of the best long-term investments available. Your body is your greatest asset. Imagine owning the world's most expensive car. You would probably maintain it carefully. Regular servicing, quality fuel, proper maintenance. You wouldn't ignore warning signs. Now consider something far more valuable. Your body. It's the one asset you'll use every single day for the rest of your life. It carries you to work, helps you build your business, allows you to care for your family, makes every dream possible. Take care of it. Because unlike money, you can't simply replace it. Sleep is an investment, not a luxury. Many people proudly say, "I'll sleep when I'm successful." But lack of sleep often makes success much harder. Sleep improves memory, increases focus, supports creativity, strengthens decision-making, reduces stress. Financial success depends on making good decisions consistently. Those decisions become much easier when your mind is well rested. Protect your sleep the same way you protect your savings. Both pay remarkable dividends over time. Exercise builds more than muscles. Exercise isn't only about appearance. It's about performance. Regular movement increases energy, improves concentration, strengthens discipline, and reduces stress. It also teaches consistency. You don't become fit after one workout. You improve by showing up again and again. Building wealth follows the same principle. Small daily actions create extraordinary long-term results. When you train your body consistently, you're also training your discipline, one of the most valuable traits in financial success. Your mind needs care too. Health isn't only physical. Your mental and emotional well-being matter just as much. Stress, anxiety, and constant pressure can affect your financial decisions. When your mind is overwhelmed, you're more likely to spend impulsively, avoid important decisions, or lose focus on long-term goals. Take time to recharge. Read. Meditate. Spend time in nature. Enjoy meaningful conversations. Protecting your mental health helps you think clearly, solve problems effectively, and make wiser financial choices. A healthy mind is one of the greatest competitive advantages you can have. Healthy habits compound. Just like money grows through compound interest, healthy habits compound over time. One healthy meal won't change your life. One workout won't transform your body. One good night's sleep won't solve every problem. But hundreds of healthy choices made consistently over many years create incredible results. More energy, better focus, greater confidence, longer productivity, improved quality of life. The benefits continue growing year after year. Success is easier when you feel your best. Think about the people who consistently perform at a high level. Athletes, business leaders, entrepreneurs, professionals. Many of them understand that health isn't separate from success. It's part of success. They know they can only perform at their best when they feel their best. Your health influences every opportunity you pursue, every decision you make, every relationship you build, every goal you achieve. When you invest in your health, you're investing in every part of your future. Build wealth you can enjoy. The purpose of building wealth isn't simply to collect money. It's to create a better life, to spend more time with family, to travel, to help others, to pursue meaningful work, to experience freedom. None of those things matter as much if your health prevents you from enjoying them. True wealth includes financial security, physical strength, mental clarity, and the energy to live life fully. That is real success. Chapter 23. Learn to negotiate everything. Salary, business, real estate, investments, life. Every conversation is a negotiation. The better you negotiate, the more opportunities, income, and freedom you create. Imagine two people applying for the same job. Both have similar qualifications. Both perform equally well during the interview. The company offers each of them a salary of $60,000 a year. The first person smiles, accepts the offer immediately, and starts working. The second person politely thanks the employer and asks, "Is there any flexibility in the salary based on my experience and the value I can bring?" After a respectful conversation, the employer agrees to increase the salary to $65,000. A simple 5-minute conversation has increased that person's income by $5,000 every year. Over 10 years, not including raises or investment growth, that single negotiation could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. The lesson is clear. Sometimes the biggest financial gains don't come from working harder. They come from learning how to negotiate better. Negotiation is a life skill. Many people think negotiation is only for business executives or sales professionals. The truth is, you negotiate almost every day. You negotiate your salary. You negotiate the price of a home or a car. You negotiate business agreements. You negotiate deadlines at work. You even negotiate responsibilities and expectations in your personal relationships. Whether you realize it or not, negotiation is part of everyday life. The better you become at it, the better your financial and personal outcomes become. Confidence creates opportunity. One reason many people avoid negotiating is fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of embarrassment. Fear of hearing the word no. But successful people understand something important. Asking respectfully costs very little. Not asking can cost you a great deal. The worst outcome is often that the answer remains the same. The best outcome is a better salary, a lower price, improved terms, or a new opportunity. Confidence doesn't guarantee success. But silence guarantees missed opportunities. Preparation is your greatest advantage. The strongest negotiators rarely rely on charm alone. They prepare. Before negotiating a salary, they research market rates. Before buying real estate, they understand local prices. Before making an investment, they study the risks and potential returns. Knowledge creates confidence. The more information you have, the stronger your position becomes. Preparation transforms negotiation from guesswork into strategy. Focus on value, not emotion. Many people negotiate emotionally. They become defensive. They argue. They try to win. Successful negotiators focus on value instead. They ask, how can we create a solution that benefits both sides? Employers want talented employees. Customers want fair prices. Businesses want loyal clients. Good negotiations create outcomes where everyone feels respected. The goal isn't to defeat the other person. The goal is to build a better agreement. Learn the power of listening. One of the biggest mistakes people make during negotiations is talking too much. Great negotiators listen. They ask thoughtful questions. They pay attention to the other person's priorities. The more you understand what someone truly wants, the easier it becomes to find a solution that works for both of you. Listening creates trust. And trust often leads to better results than pressure ever could. Everything is not about price. When people hear the word negotiation, they often think only about money. But many agreements involve much more than price. Flexible working hours. Additional vacation time. Professional training. Better payment terms. Longer deadlines. Future opportunities. Sometimes these benefits become even more valuable than a small increase in salary or a lower purchase price. Think creatively. Negotiation is about improving the entire agreement, not just one number. Stay calm under pressure. Negotiations don't always go as planned. Sometimes you'll hear no. Sometimes the other person won't agree. That's okay. Don't take rejection personally. Stay calm. Remain respectful. Ask questions. Look for alternatives. A calm person thinks clearly. An emotional person often makes costly decisions. Patience is one of the most powerful negotiation skills you can develop. Practice every chance you get. Negotiation is like any other skill. The more you practice, the better you become. Ask for a better deal when making a purchase. Discuss your responsibilities during a new job. Practice having honest conversations. Learn to communicate clearly and respectfully. Each conversation builds confidence. Over time, negotiating becomes natural instead of uncomfortable. Small improvements today can produce enormous financial rewards throughout your life. Build relationships, not victories. The best negotiators don't focus on winning one conversation. They focus on building long-term relationships. People prefer doing business with those they trust. Treat others fairly. Keep your promises. Communicate honestly. Leave every negotiation with mutual respect. A successful agreement today can create many future opportunities tomorrow. Relationships often become more valuable than any single deal. Every conversation shapes your future. Think about how many important financial decisions you'll make over your lifetime. Job offers, business partnerships, real estate purchases, investment opportunities, major contracts. Each one presents an opportunity to negotiate. Every improvement, no matter how small, can compound over decades. A slightly higher salary invested wisely. A better business agreement. A lower interest rate. A fair purchase price. These small victories quietly build lasting wealth. That's why negotiation is one of the highest-paying skills you can learn. Chapter 24. Build before you consume. Create value before you chase comfort. Builders become wealthy. Consumers stay dependent. The wealthiest people don't spend their lives asking, "What can I buy?" They ask, "What can I build?" Imagine two people who both receive a bonus of $10,000. The first person immediately begins thinking about what they can buy. A new phone. A luxury vacation. Designer clothes. The latest gadgets. Within a few weeks, the money is gone. The excitement fades, and life returns to normal. The second person thinks differently. Instead of asking, "What can I buy?" they ask, "What can I build?" They invest the money in learning a valuable skill. They start a small business. They buy assets that produce income. They invest in tools that help them earn more. Years later, that single decision continues producing value. The first person enjoyed temporary comfort. The second person created lasting wealth. That is the difference between a consumer's mindset and a builder's mindset. Consumers spend. Builders create. Every day, we're surrounded by advertisements encouraging us to buy more. A newer phone. A bigger television. A more expensive car. A larger house. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the rewards of your hard work. The problem begins when consumption becomes your primary financial goal. Consumers focus on spending. Builders focus on creating. They create businesses, products, skills, investments, ideas, content, solutions. Every time they build something valuable, they increase their ability to earn in the future. That's why builders often become financially independent while consumers remain dependent on their next paycheck. Income follows value. One of the greatest financial lessons is simple. The marketplace rewards value. People earn more when they solve bigger problems. Businesses grow by serving customers well. Professionals advance by developing valuable skills. Entrepreneurs succeed by creating products and services that improve people's lives. If you want to increase your income, focus less on consuming value and more on creating it. Ask yourself every day, how can I make someone else's life easier, better, or more successful? The answers often become opportunities. Comfort can become a trap. Comfort feels wonderful, but too much comfort can quietly slow your growth. Imagine someone who spends every evening watching television instead of learning a new skill. Or someone who upgrades their lifestyle every time they receive a raise instead of investing. Nothing feels wrong in the moment. But over time, comfort replaces progress. The wealthy understand that temporary sacrifice often creates permanent freedom. They delay comfort just long enough to build a stronger future. Build assets before buying luxuries. Earlier in this book, we learned that assets generate income while many luxuries simply create expenses. This chapter builds on that principle. Before buying expensive wants, ask yourself, have I built enough assets to support this purchase? If your investments are growing, if your emergency fund is secure, if your income-producing assets are expanding, then enjoying some luxuries becomes much more sustainable. Builders let their assets pay for their lifestyle. Consumers let their salaries pay for theirs. That's a very important difference. Invest in things that continue paying you. Some purchases lose value the moment you make them. Others continue creating value for years. Books increase knowledge. Education increases earning potential. Business equipment improves productivity. Investments generate future income. Technology can help automate your work. Each of these purchases builds your future rather than simply entertaining your present. Before spending money, ask yourself, will this expense disappear tomorrow, or will it continue creating value? That one question can transform your financial decisions. Become a creator. We live in one of the greatest times in history to create value. You can write books, teach online, start a business, create digital products, build websites, develop software, produce videos, design artwork, offer consulting, share your knowledge with people around the world. Technology has made it easier than ever to become a creator instead of only a consumer. The people who consistently create valuable work often discover opportunities that consumers never see. Build every day. Building wealth isn't always about starting a billion-dollar company. Sometimes it's much simpler. Read 10 pages every day. Improve one skill every month. Invest consistently. Strengthen your relationships. Write one article. Create one product. Learn one new idea. Each small action becomes another brick in the foundation of your future. Builders understand that extraordinary success is created through ordinary actions repeated consistently. Leave something behind. Building isn't only about earning money. It's about creating something that continues serving others after you're gone. A successful business, a meaningful book, a valuable product, a charitable foundation, a strong family, a legacy of wisdom. The greatest builders don't simply accumulate wealth. They create lasting value that improves the lives of other people. That's one of the highest forms of success. Ask yourself one powerful question. Before making your next financial decision, pause and ask, am I acting like a builder or a consumer? If the answer is builder, you're probably creating something that will improve your future. If the answer is consumer, ask yourself whether the purchase truly aligns with your long-term goals. You don't have to eliminate enjoyment from your life. Just make sure you've built a strong foundation before chasing greater comfort. That's how lasting wealth is created. Chapter 25. Become the kind of person wealth naturally follows. Identity comes before income. Change your habits. Change your beliefs. Change your future. Your income is often a reflection of who you are becoming. Change your identity, and your financial future begins to change with it. Imagine two people who both set the same financial goal. They both want to become millionaires. They both read the same books. They both attend the same seminars. They even create similar financial plans. But after 10 years, only one has achieved lasting financial success. Why? Because one person focused only on changing their bank account. The other focused on changing themselves. They developed discipline, improved their habits, expanded their knowledge, strengthened their character, learned from failure, became someone who consistently made wise financial decisions. Eventually, wealth followed naturally. This is one of the greatest truths about success. The person you become is more important than the amount of money you earn. Identity shapes every decision. Every day you make hundreds of decisions. Some are small. Some are life-changing. But behind every decision is your identity, your beliefs about who you are. If someone believes, "I'm terrible with money," they're likely to overspend, avoid investing, and ignore financial planning. If someone believes, "I'm the kind of person who manages money wisely," their actions naturally begin to reflect that belief. They save consistently. They invest regularly. They continue learning. They think before spending. Their identity shapes their habits, and their habits shape their future. Wealth is built from the inside out. Many people believe that money changes people. In reality, money often reveals who people already are. Someone who is disciplined before becoming wealthy usually remains disciplined afterward. Someone who is generous often becomes even more generous. Someone who constantly spends beyond their means may continue doing so, regardless of how much they earn. That's why lasting financial success begins with personal growth. Before building wealth, build character. Because character determines how well you manage every opportunity that comes your way. Successful habits create successful lives. Your future isn't determined by one extraordinary action. It's determined by the habits you repeat every day. Reading instead of endlessly scrolling. Saving before spending. Investing instead of delaying. Learning instead of complaining. Planning instead of reacting. These habits may appear ordinary, but repeated consistently over years, they produce extraordinary results. Success isn't something you occasionally do. It's something you repeatedly practice. Upgrade your beliefs. Many people unknowingly carry limiting beliefs about money. Rich people are lucky. I'm just not good with finances. I'll never earn more than I do now. These beliefs quietly shape every decision. Fortunately, beliefs can change. Replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. I can learn financial skills. My income can grow as my value grows. Every day I become better at managing money. Your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. Choose beliefs that move you forward instead of holding you back. Become a lifelong student. The people who continue growing financially are usually the people who never stop learning. They read books. Listen to audiobooks. Study successful people. Ask questions. Seek mentors. Learn from mistakes. They understand that knowledge is one investment that no one can take away. Every new skill increases confidence. Every lesson improves judgment. Every book expands possibilities. Learning doesn't stop after school. For successful people, it becomes a lifelong habit. Take full responsibility. One of the biggest turning points in life happens when you stop blaming circumstances and start accepting responsibility. You may not control the economy, your upbringing, or unexpected challenges, but you always control your response. You control your habits, your effort, your attitude, your willingness to learn, your financial decisions. Responsibility is powerful because it puts your future back into your own hands. The moment you accept responsibility is the moment you begin creating real change. Surround yourself with growth. Identity is influenced by your environment. Spend time with people who inspire you. Read books that challenge your thinking. Listen to ideas that encourage growth. Choose conversations that expand your vision instead of limiting it. Every positive influence strengthens the person you're becoming. Protect your mind just as carefully as you protect your money, because your thoughts eventually become your actions, and your actions become your life. Wealth is a byproduct. Many people chase money directly. The wealthy often chase something different. They pursue excellence. They solve problems. They create value. They serve others. They become trustworthy. They improve continuously. Money often follows these qualities. Instead of asking, "How can I become rich?" ask, "How can I become more valuable?" The more value you create, the greater the opportunities that usually follow. Your story starts today. No matter where you are financially today, your future isn't written yet. Every great financial journey begins with a decision. The decision to learn, to improve, to save, to invest, to take responsibility, to become someone capable of creating lasting wealth. You don't need a perfect past. You don't need extraordinary talent. You simply need the willingness to become a better version of yourself every day. Because when you change your identity, your habits change. When your habits change, your results change. And when your results change consistently, your future changes forever. Conclusion: the decision that changes every other decision. One decision today creates another tomorrow. Small choices become habits. Habits become character. Character becomes destiny. Every great financial life begins with a single decision. Not a decision to become rich, but a decision to become the kind of person who creates wealth naturally. Congratulations! You've reached the end of this book. But this isn't the end of your journey. In fact, it's the beginning of a new chapter in your life. Over the course of this audiobook, we've explored 25 powerful money decisions that have the potential to transform your future. You learned how to choose a career wisely. Why investing in yourself comes before investing in the stock market. How high-income skills increase your earning power. Why starting early gives compound growth time to work. How living below your means creates freedom. Why saving before spending changes everything. How your friends, your partner, and your environment influence your financial future. Why buying assets matters more than buying luxuries. Why delayed gratification, lifelong learning, calculated risks, strong relationships, time management, and good health are all essential parts of building lasting wealth. At first, these may seem like separate lessons. But they are all connected. They all begin with one thing: a decision. Every successful life is built one decision at a time. One decision leads to another. Think about planting a tiny seed. At first, it seems insignificant. But with time, water, and care, it grows into a tree that produces fruit year after year. Your decisions work the same way. One decision to save money leads to another decision to invest. One decision to read a book leads to another decision to learn a new skill. One healthy habit inspires another. One act of discipline strengthens your confidence. Soon, what started as a single decision becomes a completely different lifestyle. Success doesn't happen all at once. It grows through consistent choices made day after day. Small choices become habits. Most people wait for a life-changing opportunity. But life usually changes because of small daily actions. Saving a little every month. Reading a few pages every day. Learning one new idea. Avoiding one unnecessary purchase. Investing a small amount consistently. Choosing patience instead of impulse. None of these actions feels extraordinary. Yet together, they become powerful habits. And habits have incredible power. They quietly shape your future without you even noticing. Good habits make success easier. Bad habits make success harder. That's why every small choice matters. Habits become character. After repeating the same habits long enough, they become part of who you are. You no longer force yourself to save. You naturally save. You no longer force yourself to learn. You naturally become curious. You no longer force yourself to think long-term. It becomes your way of thinking. This is called character. Character is built through repeated actions. Honesty becomes a habit. Discipline becomes a habit. Responsibility becomes a habit. Patience becomes a habit. Over time, people begin trusting you. Employers value you. Customers respect you. Business partners believe in you. Your reputation grows because your character has grown. And character is one of the greatest assets anyone can possess. Character becomes destiny. People often ask, what's the secret to becoming wealthy? The answer isn't one perfect investment. It isn't winning the lottery. It isn't finding a shortcut. The real secret is becoming the kind of person who consistently makes wise decisions. Because your future follows your character. Disciplined people usually make disciplined financial choices. Patient people allow investments to grow. Responsible people prepare for emergencies. Lifelong learners continue increasing their value. Generous people build stronger relationships. Confident people recognize opportunities others miss. Who you become determines where you go. Your destiny isn't written by chance. It's written by your daily decisions. Money follows the person you've become. Many people spend their lives chasing money. But the truly wealthy understand something different. Money is often the result, not the goal. When you become valuable, opportunities increase. When you solve problems, people reward you. When you build trust, people want to work with you. When you continue learning, your income often grows. When you manage money wisely, wealth stays with you. Money follows value. Money follows discipline. Money follows responsibility. Most importantly, money follows the person you've become. That's why the greatest investment has never been a stock, a business, or a piece of real estate. The greatest investment is you. Your next decision starts today. Perhaps this book has inspired you. Perhaps it has challenged some of your beliefs. Maybe you've realized there are financial habits you want to change. Don't try to change everything overnight. Choose one decision. Start saving automatically. Read one chapter of a great book. Learn one valuable skill. Review your budget. Invest your first amount. Spend less than you earn. Call someone who inspires you. Take one step. Tomorrow, take another. The journey to financial freedom is never completed in a single day. It is built through thousands of wise decisions repeated over a lifetime. A final thought. Years from now, someone may look at your success and say, "You're so lucky." They won't see the books you read, the skills you learned, the temptations you resisted, the investments you made, the sacrifices you accepted, the early mornings, the late nights, the small decisions repeated consistently for years. But you'll know the truth. Your success wasn't built by luck. It was built by choices. One choice after another. One habit after another. One improvement after another. Until those choices shaped your character. And your character shaped your destiny. Remember these 4 timeless truths. One decision today creates another tomorrow. Small choices become habits. Habits become character. Character becomes destiny. And above all, money follows the person you've become. Thank you for listening to the Money Decisions That Change Everything. I hope these lessons help you make wiser decisions, build lasting wealth, and create a life filled with freedom, purpose, and peace. Your future doesn't begin someday. It begins with the decision you make today.